Well, good morning. Beautiful day here in western Pennsylvania. So as you can see, I had got the hay bine hooked up here. I just finished kind of mowing, going around this field. Went around 6 times, and then up at the top, you can barely see it there. I went 4 times down the center, a couple times over the hill. So we are going to wrap this. Thought I'd give a little bit of an overview of the hay bine. I took some live shots that I'll show you from earlier. So hay bine, disc bine. The front ends of these used to look kind of like a combine with a roller. The roller would kind of fold it over, and then you had like just teeth, almost like scissors, like a sickle bar, I believe, underneath that cut it, and it just laid it over. Well, this is a mower and conditioner, and they call this more of a disc bine, and I'll show you why. So you can see in here is just a bunch of little discs. You compare that to a bush hog, they're a lot smaller because they can spin a lot faster, and you don't get as much churning going on. And they rotate in different directions. Then on the back is the conditioner. So as the blades are spinning, these 2 rollers are spinning super fast, literally. Be surprised if they don't have that in the manual. And they're kind of like 2 gear teeth going together. So as the hay comes through here, as it gets cut, it gets brought up in through these rollers, and it crimps them. So sometimes you'll call this a crimper, because it's squeezing in between those teeth of those rollers, and it crimps it, breaks it, snaps it, and that helps with the drying a little bit. So between that aspect and it throws it out other than just laying it down. So you can see here, come down at ground level, it kind of fluffs it up a little bit, and that helps air it out versus an old style cutter that would just cut it and lay it over, and then it's kind of like a blanket, and it doesn't get much air unless if it gets sun. These are kind of thinner rows here, so they're not as fluffed up on top of the hill. I had really thick stuff. Of course, you know, the thicker it is on the ground, and it doesn't, same thing, get the sun and air. You can widen these out to spread it out more. We kind of like them a little more narrow. So between those 2 things, the crimping of the grass and it fluffing up more, you can easily cut a day off for dry hay. So if you are cutting dry hay and it takes you normally 3 days with an old style mower for it to dry enough, you can probably do it in 2 in this, you know, just comparatively. So that's one of the reasons why quite a few years ago we upgraded to this type of mower, and it has become really beneficial, because here in Pennsylvania, to have at least 3 days dry, it's amazing how that just doesn't happen. You don't realize it until you have to have it. And then of course in this case, when we're doing silage, it breaks it enough that on a 90-degree day like today, we hope to bale this afternoon and then wrap it tomorrow or whenever. So yeah, I'll show you some action shots, and enjoy the video. Give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, as they say, all that fun stuff. And looking forward to a little bit better day than yesterday. I'm over it. That's what's great. You go to bed, start the day new. Started literally at sunrise this morning, so got a nice sunrise view in. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, so I can show this here in a second up on the tractor, how you can move the hay mower in and out. So when you go around the field against your fence row, you'll typically go around the field counterclockwise, so that the mower, of course, it's always sticking out to your right, and at least this one is. I've seen new ones that go both ways. And a lot of old timers would do that row last, because if you're more likely to catch something in your mower that you shouldn't, it's against the fence line. So when you're doing that, you know, you're driving over tall hay one way or another, that or when you're coming back around. So what you'll see here is, yeah, we don't just drag the mower behind us, even though we're going against the fence row, because then you're driving over it, you're laying it down with your tires, and then sometimes you don't get that mowed very well because you just laid it over. Versus if you go around counterclockwise and you're mowing the right side against the fence row, and then you're driving on it, say this way, then when you come back around, then you're driving over what you mowed against the fence row. And when you're coming against the tire tracks that you were on, you're going the different direction, and sometimes it'll pick it up and it'll mow it, and you'll never know that you actually ran over it. So I'll show a couple examples here.